Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of Brew. I'm Lugo.
And I'm Maddie.
What you been up to this week?
Living the dream, you know.
Is it a dream or is it someone else's dream?
I'm not sure it's anyone's dream, actually.
Someone the other day at work told me that they're like, I'm just living the dream. I was like, not ours. This is not where I would want to be. I was like, it's 100 degrees outside and I'm sweating like crazy in this warehouse. Like, why would I? Whatever.
Although, we did have a really fun time at the pool party.
That's true.
My husband, Corey, it was his birthday this week, so we hosted a bring your own pool party. And that was a ton of fun.
It was a super good time. Kudos to you on setting up such a neat idea. It not only occupied all of the kids, because there was a ton of kids.
So many kids.
And they all managed to just stay in one spot and not bother us adults.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable how well it worked. So, tip my hat, pour a drink, take a shot, because that was a great idea.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It was so much fun.
It really was. I guess you could almost call it midweek madness because it was on a Tuesday. It's
yeah.
kind of basically midweek.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some people start their day or their week on Sunday. So, like, yeah, it's like midweek madness. Perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, huge shout out to my bro, Corey, your husband.
Yeah. 35.
God, when you say that, I'm just like, oh, fuck.
You're only 36.
Oh,
But he can. So every year when it's my birthday, there's that month and 10-day gap that he calls me a cradle robber.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I've never heard him say that.
Every single year. So then,
that's hilarious.
now he's finally my age, you know, catching up to the grown-ups.
Well, it's just spent all that time growing up. They just grow up so fast.
So fast.
Yeah, it was a really good time.
It was a lot of fun.
What a fantastic way to kind of kick off the summer. I say that, but at the time of recording, we haven't even hit the summer solstice yet.
I know.
Which apparently is like a huge thing everyone's talking about right now. Everywhere throughout the rest of the country, it's like 100 plus degrees, except for like us. We were like, oh, we're just chilling at like 95.
Chilling.
Just chilling at 95.
Yeah.
So that's great. Like I said, what a perfect day for a pool party. We were blessed by good weather and all that stuff like that. And
yeah, because it's been raining so much. I was a little worried that we were going to get some kind of storm, but it was perfect.
No, it was a really, really good time. And then a whole bunch of stuff. Where do I even start? I got in trouble this week for researching massive quantities of truck parts. Which apparently, like, I could be looking at worse things.
Wait, at home or at work?
No, definitely at home. I wouldn't get in trouble at work for that. Ironically,
company time and all that.
I'm like just sitting there, just chilling on the couch, and then get that. What are you looking at? I was like, nothing. And I'm hiding it like I'm looking at porn. And then like she's like, just show me. I pull it up, and I'm like, God, this is so embarrassing. I'm like, she's like, are you looking at truck parts right now? And I'm like, guilty.
God, guilty.
Oh my God, I almost felt bad about it, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, this is the most innocent thing I could be looking at right now. Right. And like, I'm seriously like sitting there looking at wheels. I'm looking at engine parts, and I'm like, do I need another engine? I'm like, for what? Just to have it, just cause. Just put it on
for funsies.
She's like, can you stop? And I was like, all right, fine, all right. So I'm always getting in trouble over truck stuff. It is a love-hate relationship, I will say, with that, because
that's me and my kids.
A love-hate relationship with you. Hey, I want white rice today. Just plain.
Always plain.
Oh my God! They were so happy to eat it too.
They love plain white rice. I happened
to be present for that, and I was just shocked by it. I'm like, if I could get away with that, I'd be buying that by the truckload.
They love plain white rice.
I am still dealing with that mac and cheese not the right color. What? What do you mean? I was like, you ate this last night. Yeah, but princesses don't eat that color. I'm like,
they will only eat like the pre-made, mac and cheese from Target, not literally the exact same thing from Walmart. It's the same thing, but they will not eat it from Walmart.
Do you deal with the Target has better toys?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so like the other day I went to Home Depot, and like, of course, next to Home Depot there's a Target, and I'm like, I got the rearview mirror like pointed right back at Ray, and I'm just sitting there driving, and she's just staring. just staring. She's like, I was like, oh, do you want to go to Target? And she's like, yeah, how did you know? And I was like, oh, you've only had like a death stare at it. So I take her to Target, let her pick out something because
I do love Target, but it's so much so that if I say we're gonna go to the store and then we end up at Target, Ellie is like, this isn't the store, this is Target. As if it's like an experience. We're going to Worlds of Fun, guys. Like, it's Target. This isn't the store.
Oh my god! Even at this age, they're fanboys.
Yep.
Do you go to the Targets that have the Starbucks in them?
Yes.
Is that an important thing?
No, I don't drink Starbucks.
You're some of the lucky few. Caitlin always wants to go to the Target just because it's got the Starbucks in there, and I'm like, just go to a regular Starbucks. She's like, yeah, but then I can shop and have my coffee.
Which, okay, I do kind of get. But do you go to the one like on Shawnee Mission or 119th?
119th. It's the way to go.
I like Shawnee Mission, so agree to disagree.
Guess we're gonna have a debate.
Hey Target, if you're listening, please sponsor us.
Oh my God, please. We'll do anything. No,
we love you.
They're like, yeah, we sent you guys some drinks, but like they were non-alcoholic. I'm like, oh, sorry. The whole show is based around drinking alcoholic beverages.
Yeah.
My bad. I think this week we're on the summer diet. I don't know. Is that? No, that's not even what to call it. We're doing the summer thing. We're testing out seltzers, and this week we're with the Hornitos brand.
Yeah. It's a tequila seltzer.
Which they happen to have a really good deal at the local liquor store for it. We're huge fans of this week. It says it's got blue agave. I don't know what that is. It's great. It goes down pretty well.
I think agave is like you have to have agave with tequila or something like that.
But why is it blue?
Because there's different kinds of agave.
Has nothing.
I
This drink is very clear. See what I did there?
Okay. Well, if you press a mint plant for the oils are clear, not green. So.
Oh, now you're a scientist?
Yeah. No, I'm a botanist, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, boom.
Hit me with the botany. We got a great show for you guys this week.
We think so, anyway.
Yeah. We feel like
then
we
again,
do.
there's some no other opinions here.
Nope. So I'm sure unless you live under a rock, have you heard about Hawk Tuah girl? I cannot get enough of this. The remixes alone have me rolling right now.
Yes.
I happened to visit the Nashville Strip last year. Tons of fun. Great area. Great atmosphere.
Yeah, he never stops talking about it.
It's so much fun. Kid Rock. Shout out to Kid Rock. His bar. Exactly what you think about it. I'll let you fill in the blank on that one. It's great. It's a good time. But yeah, we visited all the various things out there, and then I remember watching the original video of this, going, "Wait a minute!" I reckon looking in the background, I'm like, "I was there," and I'm like, "Oh, now it makes more sense."
Yeah,
I was like, "That is Party City right there. It is a lot of fun." So yeah, shout out to Hawk Tuah girl being the most popular thing going on in the month of June of this year, because my feed is totally taken up by Hawk Tuah girl. In fact,
literally,
I want the hat. I want the shirt. I support 100% what she's doing for America right now. She's
bringing
great.
America together.
She's bringing the country together. Who would have thought she would have just had great advice to hand out? I support
and
everything.
Right before the 4th of July, bravo,
yeah.
Bringing the country together.
Definitely bravo on that. Yeah, so if you've not heard the remixes, you don't know what Hawk Tuah girl is.
Do yourself a favor.
Oh yeah, you definitely got to go because her. Well,
it's incredible.
If I was her parents, I'd be like, God, did you have to say it like that? But at the same time, well, at least you're popular now.
Yeah,
so,
right.
More
trending.
Hey, hashtag trendy. So, yeah, good luck to her and everything she's doing. I'm sure wherever she's at right now, she's killing it.
Yep.
There's gonna be a sponsorship heading her way soon.
I can't wait for the 10 years from now and randomly on whatever social media platform we have at that time, it's gonna be like, where is Hawk Tuah girl 10 years later?
Oh God, you know what she'll be? She'll be my CEO of the company I work for, and then she'll be like, "Hey, remember that podcast you recorded back in the day? Yeah,
you're fired."
I'm like, wait a minute, how did you even find that? And she's like, I am the Hawk Tuah girl. It's like she's some kind of superhero or something at this point. I'm like, but I loved your work. Oh, good times, good times. But yeah, if anyone who's been to the Nashville Strip knows, it's a good time.
We should go sometime.
Oh man, I would love that.
That'd be fun.
I would love that. We did an Airbnb out there, and it's kind of like the whole Vegas thing. Like, you don't want to spend a whole bunch of time in Vegas because you can really just drink yourself to death out there. But there's a lot of good food out there, a lot of stuff to do.
Did you have any Nashville hot? Oh,
did I?
That's literally what I'm asking.
Oh yeah. So okay, I'll tell you this story. I won't go. It's good. Okay, so we're at this food court thing, and I'm like, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Cheers, bro.
Cheers, bro.
So I remember going up to this, and it was I forget the name of the chicken place. It's gonna elude me. I went up there, and I was like, man, I can handle some pretty hot stuff. You know, like, go ahead and give me the hot stuff. The lady looks at me and goes, "Are you sure, son?" I said, "Hell yeah!" I said, "Give me the good stuff." Her eyes got real big, and she go, "Hot chicken for the white boy." And I was like, "Oh, I'm so fucked." I was like, I'm done. And at this point, like I am already committed, so I got to the third bite, and I was like, "Am I eating ghost pepper? Like, what's happening right now?" I'm like, "This is literally the hottest thing I have ever ate." Oh my God, I love that he shared that. Right now, we'll go. Why don't you go ahead and describe for our listeners what was just shared, because that's too good.
So my husband, Ever the jokester, he just shared a Hawk Tuah post. Shout out again. But this time she has one of the old school NES games, and if you were born in the 80s or 90s, you know you had to blow on those motherfuckers to get it to do anything.
And it's even more frustrating when you put it in, you like literally push down on it to seed it, and then it goes, oh, no, still not working. And you're like, I gotta blow on it again.
Yep.
It's like third or fourth time around. God, who'd have known that would have been a great advice.
Yeah, right. Where was Hawk Tuah girl back in the 90s?
Just blow on it a little, it'll work. I'm like, oh, man. I'm like, as a kid, I was like, I had no idea this is what this was going to lead to. That's great. Oh, man, the amount of times I had to.
Did you eat at Hattie B's hot chicken? It's apparently a very famous place in Nashville for hot chicken.
It might have been that.
Shout out Hattie B's.
It was definitely in a food court mall. I don't remember what it was. All I remember is it was literally the hottest thing I have ever consumed. I might as well just ate lava. And like my cousin thought he was big, bad, and tough, and he eats a lot of hot stuff too. And even he looked at me and he's like just sweating, just drenched in sweat.
Meat
and
sweats.
I'm like, no, this puts meat sweats to shame. This was unlike anything I've ever ate before. And it hits you with that flavor, and so you're like, oh, this is really good. And then you're like, oh, my insides are now boiling. Melting. And that was the worst part about it, is I literally was dying on the inside. And then so I don't know why, I just kept eating.
Why not?
It burned so bad. And I remember like I finished like a third of the portion of it, and I was like, I don't know if I should continue. And then my cousin's like, you can have one more. And I was like, oh, you're right. So I did. And then he ate one more, so I had to eat one more. So because at this point I'm like, well, I can't cop out. I have to keep going.
Yeah, naturally.
No, I should have stopped. It was so bad. I think we got.
I bet that was a lot of fun later.
Oh yeah, the Uber back. I was like, must drive faster. I was totally Jeff Goldblum, like being chased by the dinosaur, except it was like literally lava trying to leave my body. And it was like, you have made mistakes. And I was like, now I understand the whole scene makes way more sense when they must go faster. And then like it plays into the whole thing, because like then the other guy got eaten off the toilet.
Yep.
And I was like, that's me.
Just take me now.
Just take me now, because I would have been that guy running to the toilet where dinosaurs are chasing. I'm like, hot chicken. They asked me.
Chickens are descendants of dinosaurs. So, you know, it's a modern day
What?
getting, yeah.
Chickens and dinosaurs? What?
Yeah.
Oh, because they lay eggs.
No, because they're descendants of dinosaurs.
What? I've never heard this.
Really?
You just broke my brain.
Yeah.
Chickens are descendants of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
You're messing with me.
I'm really not. There's even this guy who does a TikTok where he dresses up as a dinosaur and as a chicken and as himself, introducing the T-Rex to the chicken, being like, this is your long distant relative. And then it's a chicken.
What?
And the T-Rex is like, what the fuck?
Because I'm like, what the fuck? What is happening right now? I just pictured this whole thing go down in my head. I'm like, okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
So, just trying to imagine. Just trying to be like someone just putting this together and be like, okay, so we're going to take these dinosaurs. We're going to get rid of them. We're going to replace them with chickens because chickens don't eat people.
Well, what do you mean? Who's replacing them?
Well, somebody did, right? Because do you see a velociraptor outside? Well, hold on a second. If Ford made it, maybe.
If what?
If Ford made it.
Oh, Ford. Okay, so they're not sponsoring us anytime soon.
Nope, they're like, wow, that joke was so bad it never landed. Kind of like the dinosaurs that never landed either.
You know, like evolution and stuff.
Oh, man. You can't talk about evolution. People cancel you over evolution.
Yeah.
I'm just going back to the whole like chicken and.
Okay, well, I'll tell you more about this in detail later.
I have many questions.
In general, or about chickens and dinosaurs?
Just mostly about chickens and dinosaurs and how they're related.
Okay, well, there's a lot of evidence to suggest that dinosaurs had feathers.
I watched Jurassic Park. They had no feathers.
That was in like 1996.
Yeah, the 90s got everything right.
Yeah. But for real though, the CGI holds up. Like
it really does.
Like
it was done right.
It was.
I try to get into some of the more newer stuff, and I'm like, nah.
Same.
I like the old classic, just chase them with the dinosaur type thing. Like, they did something there with that. They can't reproduce.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
It's like 90s sitcoms. You just can't do it again.
Also true. You want to talk about your Mads Minute of the Week?
Sure. You're not going to do an intro?
I thought you... Okay, well...
Normally you do like an intro.
Wow, we are really... Yeah, you got to spit on that thing. All right, give it up for Mads Minute.
Whoa, you just got all the deep voice on me right there.
I was setting up the deal. So let's go into it. Let's break it down right now. We're going to talk about tip culture today. Go ahead, bring it.
Okay, so, not spoiler, fair warning. I come from many years in the restaurant industry. It was my first real job when I was 17. I worked in a kitchen. I did expo. I did pantry. I moved my way to host, to server, to bartender. I've done it all for like a lot of years. I'm 35, 17. A lot of years.
Did you carry the one on that?
A lot of years.
So you would say that you are definitely an expert when it comes to what it means to be tipped for decent service at a restaurant.
Yes. And honestly, hairdressers, shout out to hairdressers, because what they do is not easy. When they're the skilled ones, like, ooh, that's not easy. Yep. There are, people doing your nails, pedicures, things like that. Real service-based things, like get your bag 100%, tip those people. And I know everyone will say, oh, well, they should just get paid by the company. Yeah, of course they should. But they're not. And if you aren't tipping, you are not sticking it to anybody except that person who's working and trying to pay their bills. Just my 2 cents. However, on the flip side of this, tipping culture is out of control. I was at a certain unnamed sandwich place the other day, and I went in. They have all these kiosks, so I put my order in, paid for it right there, and on the last screen it said, would you like to tip 18, 20, 22%? And I was like, to who?
But yeah, you didn't interact with anybody.
No, I literally didn't talk to a single person.
So who are you tipping?
I'm like, am I tipping the cashier? Am I tipping the kitchen? Am I tipping the person making drinks? Like, who am I tipping exactly?
You're not tipping a cashier if you're going on a machine.
Yeah. And I just think that's kind of stupid. Why? It's like there are people, or I've heard from other people, there are landlords asking for tips or gratuity as part of like their rent and stuff for covering basic services. And I'm like, that's the whole idea behind renting. You sacrifice owning property for certain things that get done for you.
So let me get this straight. If I own property, and you're saying it is now acceptable for me to go, are you going to tip me for changing out your furnace filter?
Basically, yeah.
What?
Which is wild. I'm like, that is wild. You're training ownership of property for those amenities. It's insane.
Wow. Okay. I will pivot it because I do have something to add to this.
Okay.
Recently there is, we're not super political. Are we? I don't know.
Not on the podcast.
No. There is definitely one of the candidates coming up in this recent election that says they want to do away with tax and tips.
I saw that.
I find that to be wildly fascinating.
I find it to be stupid.
What?
No, I say that as someone in the service industry who's had to pay my fair share of taxes, but if we're not, why should we be excluded from paying these income taxes and these other taxes? Now, full transparency, I haven't read the entire thing. I've only gone off of blurbs that I've read. However, why would I not be paying income tax on money that I'm making? Everybody else does. Okay. You pay income tax. Why should I not have to because I'm a service industry person?
I would think, okay, I would see it from this perspective here. Like, instead of you being paid like and I put in quotes, like the server, whatever wage is.
The minimum wage.
You would then be getting compensated for that. Like, they would actually pay you like a real wage. And then, I don't know what that would even be, but then you would see your tips come in, and money given to you shouldn't be taxed, in my opinion, anyway.
It shouldn't?
No, I don't think it should.
Why?
Because I think if I give you something directly, that's money I'm giving to you for saying thank you for pouring my drink today.
Yeah, but it's also my job.
It is your job. But that money should go to you and no one else. You shouldn't have to give a cut of it away just because someone else says, well, you got to pay taxes on that. I don't like that.
I mean, don't get me wrong, paying taxes sucks, but I also enjoy the benefits of taxes. Like, well, I would say the roads, except they always seem to be repairing them and they're never better. So,
well, I think the other thing, the
libraries
other thing that goes into it,
and schools and things that I actively participate in.
Oh yeah.
You know, so I don't have a problem paying my fair share of taxes.
But it's not about that. I think they realize that if I was to give you cash, most people probably wouldn't claim it.
Oh yeah, that
if I was
happens.
to give you a credit card statement, it's automatically reported.
Mm-hmm.
Or statement, but like if I was to,
yes, you pay their credit card.
Yeah, if you swipe your card, like, and I put on there, $10, then $10 is automatically reported because there's a paper trail.
Yeah.
But if I give you $10 cash, I think they realize at this point that a lot of people already don't claim that as it is, and why should you? I mean, there's benefits to claiming and not claiming, and I think that's what the article I read was very good about detailing like the pros and cons of it. And they said, okay, like let's say on paper, let's say I make $50,000 a year. I'm just blowing it out. I don't know an expert on this and what servers make, but then it comes time to like you need to like prove income for X reason.
To get an apartment, to get a car, like
now
a credit card.
Now you're not reporting that income. So like, you would there'd have to be a system in place where you're like, hey, I made $50,000 in tips, but you're not taxed on the $50,000 instead. That way there's some way of like claiming it. But again, like then that causes other loopholes. So like it's in theory, it sounds like a great idea, but then like you're trying to reinvent the system. And it's like, to me, it's almost like reinventing the wheel. And no, did anybody ask for this? So I get who it helps out. And there's a lot of benefits that come from it. And I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that already take advantage of the current system that's in place, and good for them. I support you 100% because I get why you do what you do. But then when it comes down to the whole, do I need this for some sort of positive reason? Or what, who cares what the reason is? Yeah. Now all of a sudden, like you might end up in a situation where like, oh, we can't help you because you don't claim anything. Well, it's like I make good money, but I don't have a good way to prove it. Like, but you should be able to semi-prove it. And so, I mean, there's still. You tell me. There's how many people pay with cash you run into? I'd say less than 25%. So then, like, does it even matter? Like, this whole thing, does it even matter? No, not really. I feel like you have to be in an industry. I feel like it's a lot of buzzwords to make someone sound good without a real structured, thought out plan in place. Because you'd have to, because like right now in our state, $213 is the minimum you can pay servers and bartenders, which is basically what everyone does. And that is enough to, actually not even always, cover your taxes, which is why so many servers and bartenders end up owing money at the end of the year, is because they don't make enough on paper with that minimum wage to cover taxes. Oh, that would make sense. That's what I'm saying. So maybe that's that's the reason why the whole behind it. I don't know. Like, I found it to be wildly fascinating that they would even propose this. But like I said, I think it's buzzwords to sound good without any thought behind it. Smoke and mirrors. Which this, sorry, not political. We don't have to get too much into it. I'm really I wanted to do a deep dive into why it would benefit. And like, you're the perfect person to ask because you're in that industry where like it would make would it improve to you? Would it not improve to you? I mean, I feel like you're the expert we have here for it. I mean, honestly, raising the federal minimum wage for tipped positions would help tremendously, because then those taxes you're paying are fully covered versus just being partially covered. And then you don't end up owing $8,000 at the end of the year. That was a question I had for that too. So like, even though your tips are not covered, you still have like an hourly wage. So is that taxed? There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions that don't really seem to have answers. But it was wildly fascinating to hear that even proposed to begin with. So yes, agreed. I did thoroughly enjoy what I read about it. I think it's possibly doable in the future, but there's a lot that needs to be done. And the reality is, there's a reason tipping culture has been in place for so long. It's because companies don't want to change. There's not enough going on forcing them to change. And I still firmly believe there's a lot. There is a large group of people out there that enjoy being in that type of industry, that like making the money they make in that. And then there's the others that are like, oh, I don't want to pay them anything, so how about the public pays them? And I feel like that's the kind where like, that's the kind of I just don't like. It's almost like it's predatory. Like, I shouldn't have to go to like let's say like a major chain somewhere that serves. Do you know why tipping culture started in America? I actually don't know, because it's not a thing in like European nations or in Australia and things like that. You can tip if they like, I don't know, blow you at the end or something, but it's not expected at all. They get paid very well. Just bringing it full circle, baby. But now, I could be wrong, but I believe I read that it started with trains. And, back in the day, I mean, I guess you can still do it now, taking trains back and forth across the country, and lower peoples of society, oftentimes lower people, slaves, but not just people in poverty. It was like, just Juneteenth. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just explaining the history. And the people
they would often serve, these rich people who are riding trains and getting meals and drinks and whatnot. And as a way around paying them, because they were very, again, predatory, they introduced the idea of tipping for their services. Because it created workers who were, going above and beyond, and they didn't have to pay the salary. That's basically where it came from, and it just exploded and never went away.
I guess if I was a business owner, I'd have to pay someone's salary and like rely on someone else to do it. And I'm like, dude, I can buy my super yacht. That's what I need to do. I'm going to start a business just so I can get my super yacht, but I ain't going to pay you nothing. I feel like that happens every day.
Like God, all the time. I mean, that goes back to self-checkouts.
Oh, God. Self-checkouts fire me up.
Because literally these companies are raking in money, not hiring people because they have self-checkouts, not paying the people they have to watch the self-checkouts. Like, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
This requires a deeper dive into that. How about we take a break? We'll come back from the break and we'll break down what it means to be a self-checkout person.
Let's do it. See you in a few, guys. Hey, guys. Welcome back from the break. Good to have you with us. Hopefully still. Anyway, what are we moving into?
We're going to do a deep dive into self-checkout because I'm very passionate about this topic here. All right, because it's like against my religion.
It's been brought up several times.
For someone who labors for their work, is that the right way to say that? I don't know if that's the right way to say that.
Are you blue collar?
Is that? Yeah, I guess. Am I? Yeah. I'm blue collar. Yeah. Okay. I'm like, so when I go to the store and I look at the line and I'm like, gee, I could go to self-checkout and I could be that person that struggles trying to understand barcodes and stuff. Or I could just go to somebody who is the expert, who will check me out.
The real question is, why are you so confused by barcodes?
Okay. When I scan the item and then it goes, are you stealing? And I'm like, no. It literally,
you're like at the most aggressive self-checkout ever.
Oh my God. It fires me up every
stealing?
time. It literally tells me, it goes, are you going to bag that? And I'm like, yeah, can I move the item? And it's like, you have not bagged your item. You must bag item to continue. And it like goes red. And everyone's like, that dude over there, he's stealing. And I'm like, no, I'm just trying to like get out of here. So when I go up that line, I just look at it and just go, no, just don't do it. Or then it's like, okay, we'll be there and I'll be with Caitlin. And I'll be like, okay, I just want to get out of here. Would you know, there'll be some family that's there that has 2 carts just loaded. Mm-hmm. They're probably doing their month-long grocery shopping, which I don't know how they do it. Good for them.
Same.
If I could get away with it, that'd be great, because going into any type of store that I have to check out and like give them money, it's like
anxiety-inducing.
Well, I was gonna say hell.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
Corey hates going to the store.
Oh my God, it's the worst thing in the world. I recently discovered there's another retailer where I can just order everything online and they pick everything and you just pick up. You show up at a certain time and just pick it up. I've discovered that is literally God's gift to this planet. I have to interact with one person.
And parents.
Oh my God. I don't have to get the kids out of the car. I literally just pick everything up and it's just good to go. And it is fantastic to be able to do that. So then you go into this. Let's say you go into said store and you're like, okay, I'm gonna run through this. I'm gonna grab my items, get into it. And then you're like, oh, I have to go through self-checkout. There's like a person in front of me who happens to be gobbling up, because there's only one person watching like 6 of the stalls. I say stalls because I don't know what else to call them.
Registers.
Are they? I feel like cattle. I'm being herded out of the store. Yes. I don't.
You're sounding a little dramatic.
Okay, I do not like this. I am fired up about this whole topic because I'm like,
are you on Mads Minute right now?
Maybe. We're extending. You know what? I'm extending it. Seriously, I go into this and I'm thinking like, okay, I just want to get in and get out of the store. If I have 5 items, maybe that's okay to do self-checkout, because then I'm like, okay, then like I could scan, go. But then like everyone started doing this. Like I think I went to like the auto parts store, and like inside this store they have self checkout, and I'm like, no, I'm like, just scan the item so I can swipe my card. I'm like, I don't do any of this stuff. I don't know how to work any of this. And this is not like a boomer thing. This is not a Gen Z thing. Like, I don't work at your store. And like, it'd be one thing if like you go to like every store and like, let's say like the kiosk was the same everywhere you go. You know,
they're not. They're all different.
They're all different.
Yeah.
Like, you give me any type of Android phone, figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm sure same thing goes for people who use iPhones. You give them an iPhone, they're like, oh, I'll figure it out. Doesn't matter. It's all the same. But then when I go from like store to store to store to store, and I'm like trying to check out, and I'm like, the process is different at every store. And then, don't even get me started. When I go to like swipe my card, like that process is not universal either. Like, why did they reinvent that wheel? Like, all of a sudden, I'm like, I went from like dealing with circles to squares and triangles. And I'm like, I can't do this right now. I'm like, why would you do this to me?
I will say, for me personally, am I morally slightly against it? Yes, because it cuts down on jobs. It cuts down on opportunities while CEOs are still raking in the money.
Oh yeah.
But I am really weird about the way things are bagged. And even when I group them together on the thing, they end up, it's like 500 fucking bags. It's like, not that I'm thinking I'm going to save the world or anything, but it's annoying. I don't need that many bags.
Okay. I'll sidebar you on this, because one of the stores I go to, and I do the checkout with them where they shop for you.
Yeah.
I check no bag, and I bring totes. Like,
I didn't even know that was an option.
There is an option to check in there and say, I will use my own bags. So when they bring their little card out to you, I don't know if every store does, but the big one that we probably both shop at uses it.
Yeah.
If you check that box, they come out. They're pretty nice about it. And I say, hey, can you just throw those in those totes? I'm just laughing because I'm like, they're probably looking at me like, this motherfucker. And like,
couldn't just go to self checkout.
I'm like, I literally brought no bags. I say, all I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring these totes. And then think about it, okay? Because like, there's another pro move.
You should get one of those things for your trunk that's like the little compartments, and they just put it in, and you take the insert out, and then you put it back.
Then I bought the totes because they're way cheaper to go to the hardware store and just buy these totes. And it's a generic black tote you could find. It's the black tote with the yellow lid. Everyone who has shopped at these stores know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So I just leave the lids off him, and I just say, hey, bro. And he's like, yeah. He's like, are you so-and-so? And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, hey, there's some black toast back there. And he goes, you want me to put them in there? I said, yeah, thank you. And then they totally do. And then that way when I'm carrying inside, I'm not carrying in like 12 plastic bags. I'm carrying in one plastic tote that I will reuse. And I'm not like crazy about the environment. But like, if I need poop bags, which, I'm told is the Midwest trash bag.
Yeah.
I'll ask for plastic bags. Then I can re-up on my Midwest trash bag.
Same. It's just sometimes it's like, why are there so many bags? Like today I went to the store and I got chicken for fajitas. And I got the little, bag, the clear one that you can pull down or whatever to put it in.
Oh, you bag your chicken too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally do the same. I did not realize not everyone does this.
And God, like, bless this woman, then put just the chicken in a bag. And I'm like, it's in a bag. Just put it with the other stuff.
She double bagged your chicken?
She double bagged my chicken.
I'm worried about that salmonella.
And, like, I know there's probably people out there who are like, want everything separate, and that's why it's a standard or whatever. But then if I only have a handful of things, that's probably why I'm going to go to self-checkout. So I can just do it the way I want and not stress out.
I get that, but imagine having a cart full.
That's insane. That's insane.
And then not only are you in self-checkout, but at this point you're like, you have liquor, which they're like, oh.
You got ID.
Gotta have a deal for that. Mm-hmm. Okay, then I had to get something out of a kiosk or something like that, and they're like, "Oh, gotta verify that too. You got duster? Oh, gotta verify that too." It's like, I just went to a register. You could have done all of this in real time. If you just checked my ID one time, you would know. I'm good to go. If I'm buying alcohol, I'm probably okay to buy Duster. I'm going to huff one and drink the other. Just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
We're not promoting huffing on this podcast.
Please do not huff the Duster. I bring that up because I saw an Instagram reel the other day where someone was like, "Hey, you all right?" And they're just like clearly crashed into a pole, and she's like,
"Oh my god!"
And she's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." It's just like, "No, you're not." and the guy's like, "Yo, the police is coming." And she's like,
a sidebar on
and
this.
I was like, "Wait a minute, you are done."
I saw something on TikTok where it's this person being like, "Hey, watch out for your friends because there's this new trend where you inhale fumes from blah, blah, blah. It's huffing." And they're like trying to say it's like some new thing.
It's
I'm
a
like,
Gen Z thing.
Yeah. And I'm like,
worst.
What? Huffing? I was in DARE in the 4th grade pledging to not huff things. Like, okay.
I love having Officer So-and-so come in and be like, marijuana, bad. Crack, bad. Meth, really bad. Heroin, don't do it. And I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, we have to dare to resist drugs and alcohol or something. Drug abuse resistance education.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, I was like DARE.
And there was like a lion, right?
Oh my god.
The lion, and he wore a DARE shirt on your DARE shirt. Oh. Yeah.
Did everybody have the same mascot? Did they just ship these mascots to everybody? I just imagine being the guy going, "Hey, we're going to launch this program. We're going to teach all these kids that drugs are bad." Cool. Where did it go?
Oh, I will say, I thought as a child that I was going to get way more free drugs as an adult. That, as far as I was concerned, they were just handing it out. Strangers were just coming up to you and giving you some drugs. That does not happen.
Never happened.
Never happens.
And then,
not that I'm, on drugs or anything, just... I don't even have the opportunity.
No, they made
There's
it
nobody
sound
giving me any free drugs.
It's like every comedy movie. They're like, "Hey, if you have sex, you get chlamydia." No, they're like, "If you go outside, you're gonna have crack." And I'm like, "No, that never happened. I never was anywhere in a situation where someone was like, "Do you want crack?"
Drugs and quicksand. Two things that just never happened.
I was like maybe 16, and I was at the movie theater. And I got the trench coat guy. Mm-hmm. Everybody has got a trench coat guy story.
Yeah, mine tried to bomb my school.
Okay, well, mine tried to sell me drugs. Wow, that escalated really fast. I'm sitting in the movie theater, I'm waiting to be picked up, and of course, I was one of those kids that the parents were late. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, fine, so I have to wait. They're like, "Hey, we can give you a ride home." "No, my mom's on her way. She just fell asleep." I'm like, "Okay, it's been hours since the movie's over. Are you gonna come get me?" "Oh yeah, I'm coming to get you right now." And then the dude's like, he pulls up in the coat and he's like, "You want some weed?" And I'm like, "No, mister."
I'm actually against drugs and alcohol.
And then they wander, come back around, and they're like, "You want some coke?" And I'm like, No. I'm like, if I didn't want weed, I don't want coke. I'm like, come on, man. And then they're like, he's like, "All right, I guess I'm just gonna go then." I'm like, "Please." I was like, "Stop.
Please go."
I'm going back inside. I don't want to be kidnapped now. At this point, I'm just worried I'm going to be kidnapped. And that was like a real thing. It only happened to me one time at the theater, and I was like, "Well, I guess seeing late movies, I'm just going to take that offer up on the ride home. I'm not going to stick around and be like, please come get me." Then, of course, your parents show up later after they clearly were asleep, and they're like, "Couldn't get a ride home." I was like, "No, you said you were going to come get me."
Yeah, I'm not going home with crazy trench coat guy.
I'm like, "Trench coat guy trying to sell me some coke." And then he was like...
And you didn't get any?
And I was like, yeah. It's like, "Oh, so you just didn't take his offer up?" I was like, "I had no money." I was like, "I spent all my money on my ticket."
Movies are expensive.
I had no idea that if you hang out at a movie theater late enough, there's just some dude trying to sell you coke. I would have never thought that in a million years. Derek did not prepare me for this.
No.
They said you go outside, you get crack. They said you go to a movie, you just watch a movie. I'm like, no, that's where they sold me crack, was at the movie. They're like, "Here, we'll hook you up here at the movie." God, what a weird way to bring that up.
Right.
But that was a real thing. Like I seriously, I remember that. Like it was yesterday. I swear, I think I was 16 because I was like, it was like 7th, 8th grade. No, wait. No, you're in high school at that point.
16's, yeah, like 10th grade.
Oh my God. Back in my day.
Had to walk uphill both
we had to
ways
walk
in the
around
snow.
fight crack. Oh, yeah. We had to walk uphill in snow.
Oh my God, sorry. Side note, there is a Facebook memory that popped up with you that said, I used to jump out of 2-story windows every day. And Corey and I were talking and we couldn't figure out, like, what is that from?
What? Oh, wait, no, because Corey lived on the 3rd floor.
It was something you said, apparently, we think.
Jump out of...
I used to jump out of 2-story windows every day.
There was a time. And, like, you know, when you're, like, in between the ages of, like, 18 and 21, you're in, like, this weird gray area where, like, you have friends in all ranges of places because, like, everybody's helping each other out because you're an adult, but you're not really old enough to do anything.
Adult. Yeah.
So, like, you're in the gray zone. And I don't know what else to call it appropriately. Mm-hmm. So, when you're in that zone of the gray, you're like, I can go hang out with these guys and drink and party, or I can go hang out with these guys and I'm doing whatever. Well, obviously I chose drink and party. So sometimes, and like, I used to go hang out with people and like, I don't know what it was. We went out to the college towns by us, and I remember we get invited out there all the time. Mm-hmm. And I would be like, yeah, I'll go. No problem. I have not been to this town to this day because I always ended up being either with the wrong people or whatnot. And I'm either being talked to by the cops. I'm running from the cops.
This isn't the town where I got married, right?
No. Wait, where'd you get married at? Oh, I remember. Yes, that did happen there. Yes. Okay, so
I know there's the other M1.
Yeah. So I showed up where I was with my buddy, and he's like, $5 cup, get you access to the keg. I was like, great, love college. Never went. But I was like, I love college. That's what you do. You just go hang out with people who are actually in college. They're getting educated. I, on the other hand, I'm using my education for street smarts. So I get my cup. I get my beer. And I'm like, thinking in my head, I'm like, man, there's a lot of flashing lights out there. Totally raided this house I was in.
Oh my God.
And when I say raided, I mean they came to the front door and said, everyone who's underage, outside now. I've never seen a place scatter and empty so quickly.
Yeah, seriously.
Because I'm pretty sure.
Did you ever go any of the times with Corey?
Yeah, that's what I went with.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't trying to say his name, but yeah, that's the buddy I went with. So I'd be hanging out with him.
Called out.
And then like we would be at wherever we're at, we'd just be somewhere. And I'm like, dude, every time I go hang out with you in Lawrence, I said, I'm just being
okay, so it was Lawrence. Okay.
Yeah, it was Lawrence. I was like, I'm just being chased by the cops. And it's a good time every time. So then I thought, okay.
I mean, you got to weigh the pros and cons there.
So then I ditched Corey and I went with another friend because we went to see a show at this place called the Haunted Kitchen. And I'm sure that place is dead.
Yeah.
Because that place was not good. If you went there, you would just get AIDS.
Okay. Perfect.
It was very dirty.
I was looking for a place like that.
No, it was very... When you walk into the bathroom, the toilet's supposed to be porcelain. It's black.
Oh, God.
It was gross. So
we went there, hung out. Riot room.
No, you just stuck to the floor there.
Literally.
No, this place you walked in there and you're like, oh, there's AIDS everywhere. Don't touch anything.
Just AIDS.
And so I went. This is a good friend of mine who I grew up with. We reconnected. He drove a Cadillac, but he drove the type of Cadillac that really gets you noticed by law enforcement.
Okay.
And so we were just sitting in a parking lot, not doing anything, just sitting there. 3 cops, just from us. He's got a gun under the seat. I'm drinking.
And you're what? 19?
This time I was 20. I just turned 20. And so we're at this show. It just finished up, wrapped up. We're out in we're getting ready to leave, but like we're waiting for like people to kind of like fizzle out before. And they're like, "What are you guys doing?" I was like, "Nothing." And I'm taking all these open containers. I'm just stuffing them under the seat, hoping nobody sees it. And they're shining both lights on both sides. You get in there like, first thing question, where's your weapons at? And I was like, None. Because I'm just like, no,
Was that the kind of like Cadillac he was driving?
Oh, yeah. It was definitely the type of
guns?
Cadillac that someone would definitely be asking, okay, how many drugs do you have in the car? And I'm just like, I look at my buddy. I'm just like, oh, fuck. I'm like, please do not be packing. And he's like, oh, I got nothing on me. They're like, can we search it? And he goes, it's one of those rare situations where he said, unless you have probable cause or a warrant, he's like, I don't think you need to. And they said, carry on. I was like, that is the most, and he cool as a cucumber.
Later, you're gonna have to tell me who it is.
And I'm sitting there just going, oh fuck. I'm just like, I'm going to jail. I'm getting arrested. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get bonded out. I was like, I didn't even do anything. I just
that's what you get for ditching Corey.
Well, yeah, and then
so rude.
I went with,
I'm just kidding.
To this day, I checked in on him to see how he's doing. He's back in jail. So sometimes you don't make good decisions, bad things happen. So, but he's gonna be all right. If you know who you are, if you hit me up, I'll hit you up with your commissary. So I think he's going through a rough time. But yeah, so that was one of those tales. But yeah, and then so there was the other time where like I was at another friend's house and I just showed up. They said, and I love when I get the call and say, "Hey, where you at?" I said, "I just left work." This is back when I used to clean commercial buildings.
Oh, I forgot
so I'd be off like real late. We're out of beer. I got you. So I showed up. Literally walk in the door, go outside. Everyone's smoking. Cops show up. Literally 5 minutes being there. They brought a couple 30 packs. I think I brought a bottle of liquor with whatever they wanted. I picked it up. I'm outside on the phone, not even realize what's going on.
That seems to be a theme with you.
Oh yeah, totally oblivious. I turn back around, and there's definitely law enforcement in the living room. I'm like, oh fuck, where am I gonna go? I can't go in the closet. I was like, they're gonna look there.
Too obvious.
So I just dangle off the balcony. Oh my god! And I'm like, at the time, like I was drinking before I came there. So like you have that little bit of that liquid courage, and then you're like, oh,
I'm just gonna dangle.
I could climb. No, first I could climb down, and I believe it was like the 3rd or 4th floor. And I remember getting off the edge, and I was like looking down and going, "Oh shit!" I was like, "That's way farther down than I could think." So I was like, "Well,
I'll just hang out."
I was like, what do I do? So I climbed I like literally just like held on, got all the way to the edge, and the entire time the cops coming out, flashlight. Anybody out here? I'm just quiet. Opens up the closet, closes it. I hear all clear on the radio. I'm like, fuck, how many guys you not see me? I'm dangling on the edge here.
That's impressive. I'm actually like
dangling.
I like you more as a person now for that story. That's impressive.
And so I'm sitting there just dangling. And I can't hang there forever. So I'm trying to reach below me. I'm no cliffhanger. I can't reach that. It's too far down. So I'm like, I have one other option. I got to go up. So I climbed back up thinking, what do I do? Well, they've already cleared the closet. The closet was fine. So I climbed in the closet. I listened to everybody in that room get busted. In the closet.
That's seriously impressive.
And they never came back out in there again because they cleared the patio.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a large patio, but it was large enough to where they came out, they flashed light around and walked back inside. And I'm thinking, I was like, oh fuck. Because he's got the flashlight out and he's like looking around. And I'm like on the edge, just so I'm like, how did you not see me? But he wasn't looking over the edge. He just literally opened up the door, looked around real quick, and went back inside.
See, I was lucky. I never was at a party or anything where I was in the position to get busted. I didn't drink till I was 20. But the only party I ever went to that got busted, I had left like 15 minutes earlier.
See, we were the guys that showed up 15 minutes early and were busted. All the time.
It was a penthouse party at one of the hotels where I'm from. And
like top floor?
Yeah. And it was
nice.
I was 19 and it was this guy, he had all this money. And he would frequently have these parties up there.
In a penthouse suite.
In the penthouse. And So I would go to a couple of these parties. Well, this one particular party, they had a bunch of Coke. And
Coke's a hell of a drug.
And I, God's honest truth, never done anything hard like that. And I was like, yeah, I feel like I'm gonna go. And so I left, went to the bar across the street, which was a little Irish pub that I loved. And I'm not kidding, 15 minutes later, surrounded by cops. And then they're just marching people out in handcuffs. And I was like, whew.
Dodge that bullet.
Never went back to one of his parties ever again.
No, because, like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, you just run with the same crowd. Like, eventually, at some point, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's really what it was. And, I mean, we had a really good time. It was a lot of fun. Probably I think that was the most scared I've ever been was dangling off the balcony because I was like, I'm thinking in my head, like when I did this, I'm like, where am I going to go? I'm like, I can't run from them. I'm like, they got way more resources than I do. What am I going to do? Just go hide in the bushes? Like, I literally dangling off the ledge going, what is my plan? I was like,
I hid in a bush once.
What?
When I was 20.
But they didn't catch you.
They didn't. I was riding a bike.
But you were already you were planted on the ground. You weren't dangling off a ledge.
That is true. But
like,
I did
no
roll
plan.
into a bush, and then I just stayed there.
Just play dead. Like a possum.
And they took my bike, but they were like, "Oh, why is this bike here?" But they never found me.
There was
that was cool.
I guess there was another college town I went to where I may have borrowed a bike. I say borrowed. I returned it back to its location. It was hidden behind some sort of sign, and I walked by it. We went to like 3 or 4 different bars. Came back. It was still sitting there. I was like, I'm gonna drive this around for a little bit. So I rode around for a couple hours, and I got busted by the cops there too, because like I pulled on some flashing from a building.
Note to self: don't hang out with Lugo in other cities.
I guess apparently I just attract all sorts of law enforcement. They were asking me why I pulled in the sign. And I said, because it was in my way when I was driving my bike. And they're like, why are you biking this late? And I was like, no reason. I didn't have one.
I mean, at least you weren't driving.
That's what I told him. I said, at least I'm not driving. He's like, do you know that you can be intoxicated on a bicycle? And I was like, nope, this is news to me.
That is actually true.
So I swiftly returned the bike to the location I found it. And then after I did that, I had no issues. So that is my college days. And this is why we don't revisit college. So yeah, if you're currently in college and you're listening to this,
or if you've been in college or near a college, let us know your craziest story.
Oh yeah, we'll totally talk about it.
Yeah,
we'll break it down.
I've never even told you my craziest story. When I went to Mississippi to visit a friend of mine, and I was really nervous. I've got a lot of social anxiety, which might seem insane, but I do. And so I only knew this one person. So I decided to drink a lot of Everclear.
Oh my God. Bad idea.
Bad idea. I woke up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, and I was at a frat house. I had dragged the sofa from inside the frat house to the front yard and was passed out on the sofa in the front yard of this frat house.
That is wildly impressive that you were able to pull an entire couch outside to sleep on.
Right? Right?
It's almost like wherever you were looking at the same stars the rest of us were looking at.
That's a story for another day.
That is totally a story for another day.
We'll talk about that soon.
Oh boy.
My wedding was a hell of an event.
Hey Lugo, kick that person out. All right.
Okay, so next week, talk about my crazy wedding. It was really fun, but also crazy.
Oh, we should do that. We should totally break down our wedding stories because they both are very intriguing in their own ways.
They very are. Very much
we,
are.
we both had people that had to be removed from our weddings. I don't know why we have that in common, but we do. Oh my God. I literally was thinking about this the other day. I was just like, man, you had people removed and then, I don't know, sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
This is one of those stories where like one kind of did, but one definitely did not. I like that idea. Let's break that down in the next episode. Let's talk about weddings and marriages and all that stuff, because I think this is the time of the year.
Interesting stories.
It's the season of love.
Yeah, it is. Tune in next week, guys, and don't forget to drop your fun college stories, and we will see you again soon. If you made it this far, we want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts and our beer cans for tuning in to another episode of The Brew View. Don't forget to subscribe to The Brew View wherever you listen to your podcasts, and join us on Discord by following the link in our bio. Until next time, cheers!